The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
So we have a whole acre under here, and at last night's town meeting, the town voted to expand the garden. We're going to expand in this direction, and we're going to put in a new compost pile arrangement because the one we have back here doesn't work very well. Matt Soldner and I have put in a blueberry and strawberry bed over there. Blueberries are coming along slow, but the strawberries will have strawberries this year. I already had one. And those will be permanent fixtures for everybody to use. Hopefully next year when we do the expansion, we're going to put in a small orchard as well. Orchards are a little bit tricky because of the fact that they often attract bugs and need to be sprayed, but we're an organic garden, so we have to be very careful with that. So the garden right in front of you here is the Grange garden, and we're waiting for the Grange ladies to show up. Work needs to be done here because I have a limited ability to bend over and weed. So I came in over the weekend and weeded some of the area with a hoe, but the area between these mounds has to be weeded by hand. And the reason for that is the little tiny plants in there are actually alyssum, which is that purple and white flower down there. And we're raising that as an attractive thing for pollinators, honeybees and bumblebees. So what we're doing with these things here is what we call the Three Sisters garden, and it actually will probably end up to be more like Five Sisters, but the original idea was from the Native Americans, and they would plant corn on a mound, and you can see the corn is up. It looks like grass, but I pulled the weeds out, so that's all corn there. And we're growing a kind of Indian corn. It's multicolored, so we're not quite sure what we're going to do with it. Once you make a commitment to one kind of corn, you have to stick with it, because if you grow 2 or 3 different kinds, they cross-pollinate and you don't know what you get. So we have our Indian corn, and then today we're going to plant seeds in the middle for squash. And the idea of the squash is that it will grow up and cut down on the need to weed. And then when the corn, hopefully sometime next week, gets to be about 6 inches tall, we plant beans around the outside. And when the beans grow up, they'll wrap around the corn and we won't have to put stakes in. Now, we don't trust the corn because we've heard rumors that corn today isn't like it was in Indian times. So we're also planting sunflowers, and here's some sunflowers here. Those are guaranteed to get to be at least 6 feet and maybe 9 feet tall, and they're real thick stems, and that means the beans will wrap around those too. So we've got some sunflowers here and sunflowers down there. I put in some more yesterday along the edge, so that's that. We came here about a month ago and planted a whole bunch of cold weather crops, and you can see some of them are doing well. The kale in there is doing a heck of a lot better than my kale, actually. And we had peas along the outside, but we also had a bunny rabbit or a woodchuck come in and eat part of this garden and part of my garden. So it's a question of whether some stuff is going to recover. Our beets got pretty much decimated in the Grange garden, as did our Swiss chard. They like that a lot. The romaine lettuce over there got chewed up pretty good, but it's very resilient, so it's growing back. And growing between a lot of the romaine and some of the other plants are a bunch of radishes. And the idea of the radishes is to scare other animals away, because radish has a bitter taste for them. So it's time to thin that out. That's one of the things we're hoping the ladies will do today. The other thing we need to do is get some coverage down. We put black plastic down before, black landscape textile. Today we're either going to do that or put straw down between the lines in order to make it so that we don't have to rush in here and weed all the time, because I don't think anybody really likes to bend over and weed. So in my garden, we've got some interesting things. This stuff in the bag down here, this is potatoes. And potatoes are a relative of tomatoes and eggplant. They're Solanaceae, and so they have a lot of traits in common. You may know that people will tell you to bury the stem of your tomato plant when you transplant them, because tomato plants put roots out to the side. Potato plants do the same thing, but when they put the roots out, that's where the potatoes grow. So you have to keep burying the potato plant as it grows up, and that's the point of these bags. You start off with it rolled up, and then as you bury the plants, and they're growing really fast, as you bury the plants, you have to put some more dirt in and roll the bag up until ultimately it'll probably be about this tall and have about 10 pounds of potatoes in each one of these bags. What we're doing with all of the produce over here and excess produce in my garden, because that should produce more than what I need, is we're going to be giving that to the food pantry. Other people in here, like Matt Soldner, donate their extra food to Parker Terrace and Elise Circle. So over the years, we give away about 500 pounds of produce a year, which doesn't seem like much actually, but you know, not everybody does give away, but most people do. And we've had problems with distribution. The food pantry is only open one day, so they have to pick up on a certain day, and if our guys aren't ready, then the stuff doesn't get sent out, and blah, blah, blah. So this year we're working with the food pantry very closely to pick up, and we're also working with Lori Mooney, who's the farmer at Stonehill College, who's also a Grange member, and if we get stuck, she can come over with their Monday delivery and pick up ours.